Hey everybody, I'm Bobby. Welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I want to talk about a whiskey today called Jethro T. Boots, and it's pretty much it's like the house whiskey of CVS pharmacies around the U.S. So it's another bottom shelf whiskey. I wanted to do one more bottom shelfer before we get back to um, the medium to or mid to high level shelves that we usually talk about here. But bottom shelf whiskeys, we've all, been in spots where we have to pinch our pennies a little bit and, go for the bottom shelf. And point of this review is just to show, once again, that you can still get good quality and not pay a whole lot for whiskey, if you're looking to pay, say, less than 15 bucks, this whiskey is another great option if you're around the CVS. It's specially made for them, but it's still made in Kentucky. So anyway, I thought I'd read you guys the bottle while I'm thinking about it. It's called Jethro T. Boots, as I said. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's a genuine sour mash whiskey. And a little bit about Jethro T. Boots, the guy it's named for. So Jethro Titus Boots. He was born in 1841 and he lived to 1921. It says known by his friends as JT or simply Boots. This Kentucky lawman, entrepreneur, and connoisseur of fine whiskey was convinced that he had perfected bourbon whiskey. He was a forefather of bourbon of sorts, carefully selecting grains and barrels. He was convinced that it was his personal perspicacity that allowed him to determine when each barrel was ready. We think it may have been all the tasting he did. In JT's honor, we have bottled what is arguably one of the best bourbons around for your enjoyment. And for the price of this stuff, this is actually, you can find this for about 10 bucks at the store, 9 or 10 bucks. So, like I said, it's a pretty low cost bargain whiskey. And even if you don't like the stuff, a one-time thing for 9 or 10 bucks. What are you really losing? And it's good to shop around the bottom shelf every now and then. We all like to drink our Elijah Craig's and Knob Creeks and all those good bargain great quality whiskeys. But every now and then you might want to look for a bottle of say Jethro T. Boots or Old Crow, Benchmark, some of the ones that we've reviewed here. This is a good whiskey. I want to pop it open. It's already been popped open. Already had some. There we go. So, looking at this whiskey, it's a pretty light in color. I wouldn't think this is a very, aged whiskey, I guess we could say. I would say this is somewhere around probably 3 or 4 years, if I had to guess. And, for the price, what are you going to get? You're not going to get an 8 or 10-year-old whiskey for 10 bucks. So, you don't always need these, these ultra-aged whiskeys to, get a good quality whiskey, although it does help. So, and this is produced and bottled by the Legacy Distilling Company in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's 40% alcohol by volume, which makes it 80 proof. So, anyway, already looked at the color. It's I'd say it's a light amber, something like that. Anyway, let's give it a smell. So on the nose, you get a pretty traditional bourbon smell, nose to this. You get that corn sweetness. You get a little bit of like a you know, like a toffee and tiny bit of maple in there. Get a little bit of that oak from the barrel, a little bit of spice in there. For what this is, I mean, you know, it's a low price, but like we've been saying, you know, it's a low price bottom shelf whiskey, and for it being that, I mean, it's actually pretty complex on the nose. Let's go for a taste. On the taste, on the palate, you know, you get a little bit of that toffee, sweet corn note. You know, you get maybe a little bit of grain. Let's go for another taste. You know, you get that. Get a little bit of that wood, you know, that oak from the barrel. You know, it's there's nothing too, I guess, fancy about this. You know, you're not going to find anything too complex. I mean, like I said, it does have some complexity for bottom shelf whiskey, but you're not going to find anything too crazy about a bottle of whiskey that costs you under $10. So. You know, for what it is, it's really, really good. Got a little bit of spice in there, like a rye spice. You know, it's a bourbon, so, and it's a sour mash. You know, a sour mash, you always get a little bit of that, you know, maybe a little bit of citrus, you know, like orange zest or something like that, maybe lemon zest. But anyway, it's you know, it's a good bottom shelfer. If I had to kind of nitpick about this a little bit, you know, I mean, it's not. I would still go with something like Evan Williams, if you can find it. You know, it's about $1 more than this. But Evan Williams is, to me, one of the best. You know. I'm not sure if it's quite a bottom shelf whiskey, but you know, one of the best bottom to mid shelf whiskeys in this price range. You know, for $10 or so. You know, Evan Williams is pretty special stuff. You know, not to talk too much about Evan during this Jethro T Boots review, but you know, it's, you know, definitely check out Evan Williams if you haven't already seen my review. And if you haven't had Evan Williams before, you know, but if you see this stuff, give it a try. I mean, it's worth, you know, changing up your rotation a little bit. You know, I like to try just about every whiskey I see, you know, at least once. You know, maybe not so much of the blended whiskeys as much as, you know, bourbon and stuff like that, but this is definitely worth a try. You know, if you get out to a CVS, or you know, you're somewhere where there is a CVS, I'm pretty sure this is available at just about all of them. So anyway, Jethro T Boots, $9-10, you can't go wrong. You know, you can sip it, you can mix it. You know, it's back to my nitpicking, I guess. If I had one complaint about this, it would be that it's not quite finished, I guess. You know, they maybe took it out of the barrel a little prematurely, but still not bad at all, guys. So do what you want with this. It's whiskey. It's good. You know, love whiskey, and hope you do too, since you're watching this. So until next time, cheers.